Good day, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Imperium Galactica. Today, we're gonna pause the game and go direct map. And that was kind of pointless, okay. Remind me not to click that again with the left mouse button, because that brings up a video, and I don't want to cut that video out all the time. So, now, we can actually zoom in, yay! And finally, we see, well, a little bit closer, and less of the minimap, but that's not the big issue. We see a Garthok GR1, for whatever that means. It's just a ground attack force of the Garthoks that's now moving in. By the way, you can zoom in by clicking left here, and can zoom out by clicking right here, which is actually a good thing. That is just a nothing, actually. That's not a planet, that's nothing. It's just a little bit of space dust, if you will. And then you can see the two red planets off to the right hand side, Garthok 1 and Garthok 4, which number is not yet displayed because the map is not zoomed out as much as we want it to be. You can also see New Caroline does not have any kind of radar system right now. However, that's not a big problem. So, before we go to the ground battle that I want you to be shown, we're going to take a look at Centrino, at this small town, if you will. We've got housings, we've got a telescope here, a plant, power plant, computer development center, and a spaceport.
Star map.
However,
Colony.
I do want to have a look around if... Oh yeah, I built a radar telescope there last time, which is good. And yeah, we don't need to do anything here. So let's let the game continue, and I will show you the epic ground battles that are approaching us. It already displays the... So there we go, a little bit of intro sequence that shows you, oh my god, ground battle is commencing. Yep, there we see a few moving out and doing their stuff. Now, before the actual battle commences, there are a few things I'd like you to note. The battle is of course also in real time. There is no turn-based, nothing like that. We do have 6 light tanks that we can place anywhere on this green grid. Anywhere. So it means we could place 2 here, 2 up here, and 2 somewhere here. But the main thing you want to note is, again, that your fire brigade is actually going to repair your buildings below 50% if they get damaged or something. So you want to keep your fire brigade alive as long as you can. Normally this first attack won't do much, but just to be sure, you need to be quick to defend your territory. So what you also should know is that the Garthok, or the enemies in general, normally go for strategically important targets. Meaning that they normally will go for the power plants, or for the military spaceport, or for some kind of development center, or the colony hub directly if it's unguarded. Later in the game, we can actually build defenses to cut off certain paths for the enemy ground forces, but right now we only have 6 tanks and we don't have anything. So to give you a small overview about what things are going on here, just give me 1 second. I need to move this window over here so I can see exactly what's going on. Alright, and we're back inside the DOS box. I want to place the tanks here. Yeah, these are behind the building, but that's not a big problem. You have to manually start the battle. The battle will not commence once you've placed the tanks. But what you should note is, you can, whoopsie daisies, you can make the tanks go back into your pool by left clicking again on them. There we go. You cannot build any groups here. You can also just like keep the button pressed to place them. So we could like do it like that. Just place them like this. And also what you should know, there are 3 types of tanks, or real tanks so to speak. It's the light tank that moves very fast but does only a very small amount of damage. There is the medium tank who deals kinda like a medium-ish amount of damage and can move okay. And there's a heavy tank who deals a butt ton of damage, but it's just, yeah, the snail of all tanks, if you will. So normally I try to rely on medium tanks if I can, because they're a good compromise between speed and damage. For later missions sometimes there are also other things I want to employ on units, but for now I'm gonna stick with the tanks. So what you should do is, if you do it like this, start the battle and then immediately pause. You can also pause in the battle, which is quite good. So now you can see these blinking red dots over here. There's one light tank here. There's one light tank over here. And there should be 3 or 4 to the left hand side. So we have 6 tanks, and what we want to do first is I want to make a group with them. I'm not sure if we actually can do that. It's not control 1, that's for sure. It's not alt 1 either, I think. I gotta look that up later. It's not a big issue right now. So we're gonna select all our 6 tanks. And by the way, you should note the AI is pretty darn horrible. So we want to send these 3 tanks to fight this one over here. Right-clicking on the enemy attacks it, by the way. And we want these 3 tanks to attack this one. The reason why I'm not sending them against these tanks is that 3 on 3 we might come out ahead, but it's not guaranteed. So I'd like to point that out. Don't waste your tanks on something that you don't know you will win. So try to avoid that as best as you can. So let's let the battle commence. Yeah, they're moving pretty slow as you can see, but that might just be because of the emulator. DOSBox, that is. Yeah, and they're now beginning to shoot at each other. And my tanks actually try to overwhelm them pretty easily, which works out quite nicely. And once this tank is done, right-clicking here, and right-clicking here. We want to make sure that we do not lose any of these tanks right now, because that would be quite bad for the moment. So let's hope that we can evade this kind of a problem. Also, I don't want them to destroy this radar telescope. I'm not sure if we can do this. Probably not. Yeah, it gets destroyed, but that's okay right now. We don't need the radar telescope, essentially. So that's okay. By the way, you cannot shoot around corners, and I'm gonna pull this tank back here. But otherwise it will get destroyed. And you need to order your tanks around yourself. So normally should be able to do this without any losses right now. There we go. Just one more. And your tanks get repaired, by the way, once this battle is over. So don't need to worry about their health at all. There we go. Battle over! Victory! Our losses, 0. Enemy losses, 5. Yeah, that is awesome. Now click, and battle's over. And the fleet will disappear. Yeah, we lost a few people, but I'm not even sure we lost 2,000 people actually. But
Colony.
can we rebuild that radar telescope right away? I don't think we can. Dang it, close to, but not.
Star map.
Not really. So let the day commence. I shouldn't have let that radar telescope by, but hey, what can you do? It just happens. So basically, in this stage of the game, we're trying to expand our colonies, really try to improve our economy, maybe even try to build research centers. Oh, and talking about research centers, I want to take a look at
Colony.
something specific here.
Colony information. Inventions.
I don't think we can yet do research, can we?
Production.
Not that I'm aware of. You can produce things, and I will be showing you this now. You can produce out of 4 categories here. The first one is spaceships, where you can produce fighters, destroyers, and these things that have the disk symbol to them, they need to be researched first, which we can't do just yet. Then we've got flagships, which is not available to us just yet. We've got satellites, like service satellites. They can be used to scout on planets that we do not own yet. And space stations, which are not yet available to us either. Then we've got equipment with hyperdrives, modules, radar systems, and shields. Then the weapons category with laser weapons, guns, bombs and missiles, tanks, and other vehicles that might come in handy. And then, last but not least, we've got buildings, and the under category is buildings. That makes a lot of sense. Then we've got military buildings, colony raiders, and colony guns. Yeah, I mean, guns are cool and so on, but right now we don't have access to a lot of things because we can't research anything anyway. So what we could do, we could add a light shield here. Of course, if we would have an equipment factory, which we don't have. So you need to build spaceships, equipment, and weapons factories for each of these things. Weapons factories, all these things that are under this category, equipment for all these things, and spaceships factories for all these things. Buildings, well, as far as I know, you cannot really build things here. You cannot add like this thing. Buildings are just here to have a look at, really. You cannot build these things, but you can build the things under these 3 categories, all of them, in this menu.
Equipment.
So we don't have any research yet, so we cannot actually do much right now. But, for example, we could add a radar array here if we had produced it, but we don't have that yet.
Star map.
So we can't do anything. So let the time commence.
Colony.
By the way, I need to view what I'm repairing right now. I'm repairing this. There was our radar telescope. I'm going to repair the power plant so it stays on top. I'm going to stop the police station for now. And we're going to speed it up a little bit. And once we might get a message, I'm going to slow it down again.
Message.
Ha! I was not expecting this to be exactly the time when I was
Bridge.
slowing it down, but there we go. And we have again a conversation with our wife. See, was that going up there?
I heard of your promotion and I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. I wish you could come home for the holidays so we could all be together. Johnny really needs his dad and I could use some of you too. My tough luck. Anyway, I think of you a lot. See ya.
Bye-bye, nameless woman. So I'm not gonna left click here, I'm gonna right click
Star
here.
map.
Right click skips the small video sequence that will be playing up. And I try to avoid that right now because I would have to cut it out all the time. So, now we've got 73 people backing us up, which is good, I would suppose. And once the day is over, we will get some credits. This time we get 8,954. Cool. Okay. Hunger is rampant on
Colony.
Centra now.
Colony.
Might have to look at
information.
that first. Oh, power is bad. Like, totally bad. And on New Carolina as well. That is, well, bad. Okay, so we need to build some
Colony.
food stuff here.
Buildings.
How much does that cost again?
Colony.
4,200. That's good. I try to fill in these spots as best as I
Colony
can, really.
information. Colony.
Yeah, we'll need some more
Buildings.
credits to actually do this properly, I would assume. Because the nuclear plant is already 8,000.
Star map.
Yeah, I'm going to
Colony.
rebuild the radar telescope here rather
Buildings.
for the time being.
Colony.
Because it can be quite bad if you do not use that well enough. And we actually use this now here, so we have a little bit of spots down here later. Bam. Alright, let's speed it up again. And see our nuclear power plant being repaired to maximal efficiency. There we go. Police station and the spaceport is gonna go up and repair itself. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna skip a few days here before we actually do a... Whoopsie daisies, I didn't want to skip that, but there we go. Too bad.
Colony
So
information.
we should be able to at least build a power
Colony.
plant here.
Buildings.
So we have
Colony.
some more energy available. Something's red. Oh, it's without power, huh? Well, we can help that by... Actually, I'm gonna have a look at
Buildings.
this. Fusion plant. Huh. Might be good to actually build a fusion plant, but no.
Colony.
Power plant is more efficient right now than the nuclear one. Because we don't need that much credits for it.
Star map.
And I cannot afford to really spend credits on things that I don't really need. We could be in, well, with a little bad luck, we might just not end up with enough energy after this power plant anyway, but I hope that this will work itself out.
Message on the bridge.
Okay, another pirate attack it seems, so let's have a look here. Boots up, guys.
I'm under attack again. Please come at once.
Yes, we come at once, of course. Alright, let's help the dude. Obviously, he's in big trouble. And we are the colonial captain that's gonna save him. Attack pirate, yeah. That sounds good. Let's fly off. Yeah. Fleet 1, let's go. Doop de doop de doo doo. Ta-da! Battle time. Okay, they've got 2 destroyers, which is interesting. I'm gonna talk to them first anyway. Halt! This is the Empire Armed Forces. Cease fire. Really? I think we've got something for you. Oh, is it cake, maybe? I mean, I love cake, but hopefully it is cake. Come on, give me cake. Let's have a look, by the way. Can we actually change the formation? I don't think we can yet. Too bad. Alright, so we're gonna take these fighters off to the southern side for the time being. We're gonna take the cruiser up a little bit north. Oh, they're gonna skip him now. That's brilliant. That is awesome. Okay, so the fighters can actually fight the fighters, while our 2 capital ships are gonna take care of these other ships. We're gonna try and not lose any. Come on. Okay, one's dead. Let's pull you out of the crowd there, because it might just die, and I want to avoid that as best I can. Because every ship still counts, so try to avoid getting killed off with any ships right now. It might be beneficial later on, trust me. Even though it's just these small fighters, they can be really effective later on. I think the destroyer is going for my ship there. I'm trying to avoid that. Oops, that could be bad news. Good thing is the destroyer is not that fast. Okay, we've dealt with this thing. Let's shoot the other guy. Which shouldn't be much of a problem because the cruiser is really a good firing. Okay, we need to... Okay, let's try to intercept him at the end. Not sure if this is gonna work, but... Come on, kill it! Ah! I think it escaped. Oh well. We can't get everything, I guess. Ooh, actually, we missed the last one. Oh well. Happens. At least we have successfully defended yet another trading ship. Yay us. Right. And let's speed it up again. And once this day is over, I think I'm going to save. And we'll continue this next time. Let's see how much credits we get. 10,000. Nice.
Colony.
Okay, let's have a look at the...
Colony information.
yeah, that's good.
Colony.
That is good news. Especially in these rock type planets, you need to really carefully decide where you place your buildings. I try to make these things round as much as I can. You cannot take these rocks away, for example here, these small bits and rocks of aces and whatever. They can't be taken away, they can't be crushed or anything, so you need to be really careful about where you place your
Star
stuff.
map. Colony.
On normal planets like this one, there's not much of a problem really with these things, but on other planets this might be really bad. Like totally really bad. Okay, so yeah,
Star
I'm
map.
gonna save here, and when we come back, folks, well, we'll continue our adventure in space. Without monkeys, though. So, see you next episode.